Cthulhu, Jack.
With love in the air for this month and a new dusting of lady writers and authors manhandling the celluloid at the current box office, I thought I would jump in my time machine and dart back to March 24th, 1985, where a teenage hormone-riddled alien god of yours truly was still cracking a whip and a smile, as I strolled into that dark theater back then to swing through the jungles of Columbia with Jack and Joan. I mean, to have a poster like this on the heels of Raiders of the Lost Ark, then with Temple of Doom coming out exactly 2 months later at this time, who could go wrong? I wanted nothing more than to venture off to find hidden artifacts in a far-off land by this point in my life. Romancing the Stone, starring Michael Douglas and one of the sexiest women both outside and that voice.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
The insatiable Kathleen Turner. This movie didn't only deliver the first time for me, but I went back for seconds, thirds, and fourths. The film opens with Angelina, who oozes sexuality and sweat in this Western romance. As heavy-handed and cheeseball as this could have been directed, it is masterfully staged with all the femme fatale markings of a banger beginning. This dissolves to Joan Wilder at her typewriter with a set of huge cans on, listening to music, while pecking out the last few words of her next novel. She has a cat named Romeo and lives in a typical New York writer's idea of an apartment. Joan's demeanor is so lovely and innocent during these moments that Turner's performance really brings you in. Her momentary exchanges with her neighbor, by the way, is like the sweetest old lady ever, to her calculated but soft-hearted publisher played by the always wonderful Holland Taylor. Joan stumbles into a mysterious map that her sister's dead husband sent her from Colombia. Kidnapped and held captive, Joan must make the trek to exchange the map for her sister's life. Completely not equipped for this sort of travel, Joan's, quote, wild-eyed enthusiasm gets her into trouble, but also meets up with Jack, Michael Douglas's character, a drifter who collects and sells exotic birds to eventually buy his own dreamboat. As Joan slips and slides through her adventure with Jack to ultimately find the stone and save her sister, as a character she never goes girl boss. There is a brief moment where she questions Jack's gruff exterior and begins to dress him down, but that is quickly squashed when Jack saves her life by killing a poisonous snake by her side. Turner is so natural and effortless in this character, you really feel the romance and building desire she has burning for Jack as her Jesse. Even when she machetes her way through the jungle, there is no speech or name-calling towards Jack. She moves forward and just starts whacking away. Even when they're under constant chase and gunfire, she never loses her cool, always moving forward as a man would. Ironically, this original script was written by a woman, Diane Thomas, and written years before Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Trust me.
By the climax standoff between Joan and Zola, which is epic by the way, Joan plays out her knife-throwing fantasy we see from the opening with Angelina, only to fail. She calls on Jack's help, but between the reptilian tug-of-war and his amazing wall-crawling abilities, he doesn't get there in time. Joan saves herself, and poor Zolo is fed to the, quote, snappers.
Look at those snappers, Ralph.
They exchange a kiss that you feel, which both of these characters have rightfully earned as well as this viewer. I won't spoil the total ending, let's just say Angelina makes another appearance. I had not watched this film since those days of old, and by the end I was a blubbering mess. I'm a romantic at heart that likes adventure served up with solid writing and characters. Romancing the Stone is the perfect date movie, the perfect Valentine's Day movie, and the perfect double feature with either Raiders or Temple. Or do all three. So before you plop down your hard-earned nickels for what new crop of crap is in the cinema or on streaming...
Elaine, you don't like the movie?
I hate it! I'm going to hell!
Have a walk down memory lane and enjoy author Joan Wilder's adventure.
I read your books. I read all your books.
It will put a smile on your face and you may even shed a tear of joy. Until next time.
John Wilder? The John Wilder?
Love is for Lovecraft this February, 25% off store-wide at our Etsy shop. 158 5-star reviews with 440 sales and counting. So click links below to be notified. Many thanks for the support.